NC Sports, proud to be college basketball's first network. Today, it's the LSU Fighting Tigers versus the Kentucky Wildcats. Brought to you by Miller Lite. For great taste, there is only one light beer. By the U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start. By Radio Shack, the computer experts. And by Kemper and the independent insurance agents who represent us. For all your insurance needs, ride with Kemper.
This is Dick Enberg with Al McGuire in Lexington, Kentucky. The LSU Tigers against the Wildcats in my old Kentucky home.
The right parts. Mr. Goodwrench has the right parts for your GM car. Parts that fit.
Rupp Arena, home of the Kentucky Wildcats, now in its 10th year, 23,000 strong, to see the final game of the regular season in the Southeastern Conference. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire. Kentucky has already clinched the SEC title again, as has been their history, the thoroughbreds of this part of the country in basketball.
Well, they really have fine bloodlines with Kenny Walker. He's a true All-American, and the only way you stop him normally is with a Mickey Mouse defense.
Well, you suppose that Dale Brown of LSU will contrive something unusual to stop Walker today.
I think, Dick, he did not work out and practice here yesterday. This morning, he did not shoot in his court. He did not want Kentucky to know what he's going to do. So you're going to see multiple defenses, and they're going to try to stop, obviously, the Skywalker.
So it's not only Kenny Walker of Kentucky, another great player, John Williams of LSU, will be featured today. The introduction of the starting lineups, a tribute to the seniors when we return.
Company, but we'll give you a chance to work where there's always...
Welcome back to Rupp Arena, 23,000 strong, and they're ready now for the starting lineups. First, the visitors from LSU.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Rupp Arena on this afternoon's game between the University of Kentucky Wildcats and the Louisiana State University Tigers. Introducing first the starting lineup for LSU. At forward, number 33, 6'7", sophomore, Ricky Blanton. At forward, number 44, 6'6", senior, Don Redden. At center, number 24, 6'8", sophomore, John Williams. At guard, number 10, 6-foot senior, Derek Taylor. And at guard, number 11, 6'5", junior, Anthony Wilson. The head coach of LSU, Dale Brown.
Dale Brown, in his 14th year at LSU, he is now the dean of Southeastern Conference coaches, with the retirement of Joe B. Hall, replaced by Eddie Sutton here at Kentucky. Well, this time of the year, around the country, and the colleges and universities are paying tribute to the graduating seniors. It's an emotional, sentimental, warm time, and perhaps no one does it quite so specially as the University of Kentucky. They will introduce the Wildcat starting lineup, which today will include 3 graduating seniors, this not being one of them. Number 25, Winston Bennett. Number 10, James Blackman. And now the seniors will be here with their parents, and then we'll have the traditional playing of that wonderful melody, My Old Kentucky Home.
Starting at guard, number 00, 5'5", Leroy Bird. Leroy is accompanied by his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Leroy Bird.
Leroy Bird, he's only 5'5", going on 5 feet 3 inches tall. The baby bird.
As long as he plays basketball, Dick, every day is Christmas to him.
Number 23.
He's from here in Lexington, Kentucky, and now senior Roger Harden from Valparaiso, Indiana.
Al Harden.
His dad, Al Harden, played for Branch McCracken at Indiana University in the same team with the Van Arsdale twins. It's an emotional time.
And at forward, number 34.
And now the big star of this Kentucky team.
A true All-American, plays both ends of the court.
Walker.
Kenny is from a little town Georgia, Roberta, Georgia, near Macon, about 1,000 to 1,500 population. His mother, Ola, there you see his mother and father. His mother, Ola, when he was 5 years old, cut the bottom out of a wash tub, hung it up on a peach tree, and said, "There's your basket." And even today, when he scores a basket, she says, "My son can ring it," just as he used to ring that tub as a youth down in Roberta, Georgia.
I spoke to her before the game, Dick, and she says she doesn't like the physical beating that Kenny takes, but any team that goes against Kentucky has to put 2 or 3 men on him, and he does take a black and blue beating.
Happy Chandler, the former governor of this Commonwealth of Kentucky, the former commissioner of baseball, sings "My Old Kentucky Home."
This summer, the people are gay. The corn tops ripe and the meadows in the blue, while the birds make music all the day. The young folks roll on the little cabin floor, all merry, all happy and bright. By and by, hard time comes a knocking at the door. Then my old Kentucky home, good night.
87-year-old Happy Chandler. Now the chorus.
Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home. Far away.
It's a precious moment for these young men and these people who love basketball, and one we're happy to share with you. All right, let's get to business. Last time these two teams played down in Baton Rouge, it was 54-52, and LSU was seconds remaining. Derek Taylor hits this 20-footer to tie it for the Tigers. Senior Roger Harden, here he comes, and with a second remaining, he hits a 25-footer to win it for the Cats, 54-52.
Don't forget, Dick, they did not have Williams in that game, LSU.
John Williams had the chicken pox. Nikita Wilson had just been disqualified, ineligible academically. Dale Brown had to swallow a tough one today. Well, that's Dale Brown today, the same outfit. He's hoping he'll have the 2 points on his side. But it's a team that has been troubled by various losses, LSU. Just consider the men that might be playing today for LSU. Damon Vance, a 6'11 center. Scholastically ineligible. He's gone to the University of New Orleans. Ice Reynolds would be a senior. He's playing for Milwaukee. Tito Horford, we all know about the 7-footer from Houston that was with LSU for a couple of weeks. Dennis Brown would be a starting guard. He's academically ineligible. They had the big 7-footer from Yugoslavia, Jovanovic, and also Nikita Wilson, who was their top scorer last year, all not playing today. Kentucky will start with Winston Bennett. The seniors there, Leroy Bird, a rare start in honor of his last game at home. 25-3. That is the best record of any first-year coach in Southeastern Conference history. Testimony to Eddie Sutton's immediate impact here at Kentucky. Out it comes to Bird. Neither team has a legitimate center. Kentucky uses 3 men in the backcourt, and LSU 2 guards and 3 forwards.
LSU starts out in a 2-3 zone, looks for them to alternate every time down for a while.
Around the perimeter it goes. This is James Blackman. Bird at the point. Walker patrolling the baseline, then coming out high on occasion. Bird! Not there. Rebound to Wilson of the Tigers. Anthony Wilson. Watch out. And Bird, lightning quick. Almost took it away from Derek Taylor. Derek Taylor over Bird. Rebound goes to Don Redden. LSU misses its first 2 tries. Here comes Kentucky.
They've now gone to a 1-2-2 zone.
Out of bounds to LSU.
With the multiple defenses coming down, Kentucky's going to have to analyze the defense first before they attack.
Kentucky leading the overall series, winning this year, but Dale Brown in the last 18 games against Kentucky is 9-9. Stolen by Roger Harden, a 4-on-2 break. Blackman. James Blackman, a junior from Marion, Indiana, has the first basket of the game. Derek Taylor committing the foul, and Blackman presented with a chance at a 3-pointer. Kidding him about his high school days. He helped put himself through high school, earn spending money by cooking hamburgers at McDonald's. He says, I like this much better here at Kentucky. I eat them here. Have some hamburgers before every game on the night before.
Pressure up court, 1-2-1-1. Trying to blow LSU out of here. There seems to be something wrong with Don Redden. He doesn't seem to be having the speed he normally has.
John Williams is off the mark. Skywalker ripping down the rebound. LSU staying in his zone. Blackman is short. Blackman fouls, trying to take it away from Taylor. He was second as Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana in 1983, second to Steve Alford, the great guard in Indiana.
That's no disgrace. Most of the country is second to Steve Alford.
The year of the guard in college basketball. We're going to see one of the best tomorrow, Johnny Dawkins of Duke University. There's 4 great guards in that game, Duke and Carolina.
I think there's something wrong with Redding again. He just not have the movement that he normally has in a ball game.
Redden off to Taylor. Derek Taylor hits, and it's 3-2 Kentucky. 2 minutes, 10 seconds gone.
For them to stay in this ball game, Derek Taylor has to have a good game. He had 20 against him in that heartbreaking loss down at Baton Rouge.
I don't want to see hands on the postman. I don't want to see the postman hands on you.
Little Leroy Bird. He started at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, played behind Danny Tarkanian, Coach Tarkanian's son, then transferred back home. Roger Harden. 5-2. Harden hits.
Young man had a tremendous turnaround. His first 2 years at Kentucky, he was kind of flat. Then last year, all of a sudden in the NCAA, he took off, and ever since then, he's got his confidence.
Bird able to bat it back and off Derek Taylor, but they say Bird, now they correct the call. They say out of bounds to Kentucky.
Good hustle by the Bird man here. Watch Coach Eddie Sutton come hustling down court. He plays it off Derek's left leg there. Now watch Eddie Sutton come into the picture. Come on in, Eddie. No, we can't go back that far.
Not often you see the bottom of the shoes. Bird gets a big hand from the fans. Inside to Winston Bennett and a foul.
Foul was on Blanton.
His first. Ricky Blanton from Miami, Florida. Head executive director of the boys club there in the city of Miami. Here's a young man that Eddie Sutton says, I really think he's going to be a big star next year. Winston George Bennett III from Louisville Male High School. He's their number 2 scorer, averaging 13 a game.
One of the things I've noticed over the years in watching Winston, I think he's almost too intense. That he, is excellence. Everything he does is excellence. I think if he, even his style of play is a stand-up style, rather than a 3 o'clock style where he bends over, could be a little bit more mobile. I think he might work the weights too much.
7-2, Kentucky. 3 minutes, 15 seconds into this one at Rupp Arena, Lexington, Kentucky.
No sharpness on LSU at the present time.
Reaching in, Leroy Bird. He went to Bryan Station High School here in Lexington, the same school that produced Melvin Turpin to the Cats. He goes out, and number 15, Ed Davender, sophomore from Brooklyn, New York, is in. Davender is one whale of a defensive player.
He is a ball player. Out of Boys and Girls High School. First 3 years went to Hamilton High in Brooklyn. They closed it, went on to the school that the Pearl graduated from the year before that Eddie Davender went there.
Davender really denied the ball. He really shut out Tony White, the Tennessee great guard, Thursday night. 4 for 16 for White, who's the conference's leading scorer.
That's why he's on Taylor. He'll play Taylor with and without the ball. Get a 5 count right there.
There it is. Immediately, Ed Davender forces the turnover. The arrow also is pointing toward LSU, but in that case, a 5-second call, and Kentucky leading 7-2. Has the ball again. Inside to Skywalker, stolen away by Blanton. Ahead it comes to Big John Williams from Los Angeles, California. He misses again, but Don Redden doesn't. Redden, who is closing in on the 1,000-point mark, needs 4 more.
Williams has to get into the ball game more. But Eddie Sutton's famous for his defense. He shuts you down.
Inside to Walker, knocked away by Blanton, and a foul. Ricky Blanton on the wrist of Walker. So that's his second.
Blanton's a physical ball player, dance hall type player, plays hard. Isn't he out of Miami, Dick?
Yes, he is. Killian High School. Timeout, 15 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the first half here at Rupp Arena, where the score is Kentucky 7, LSU 4.
When you start something good,
All the excitement of college basketball is here when the Tar Heels of North Carolina battle Duke. College basketball. It's the stuff Sundays are made of on NBC.
Or at the University of Kentucky, ticket office in Memorial College.
Dale Brown giving instructions. We were able to eavesdrop. Dale is wearing a wireless microphone, so we'll be hearing from him on occasion. He said something about a freak defense next time down.
That means take a box 1 on Kenny Walker.
Out of bounds to Kentucky. The Wildcats lead 7-4. We played 4.5 minutes.
What usually happens on senior day, you try to get the ball too often into the seniors' hands. Instead of relaxing and letting the game come to Kenny Walker.
Walker back to Harden. He's short. Blanton rebounds for the Tigers. Taylor brings it in. Deflected by Walker, and it hits the official. That's a break for Kentucky. Walker. Ball would have gone out of bounds to LSU, but it hit the official. He's in play.
Tough man-to-man defense.
Don Redden, not there. And the foul inside on whom? Walker of Kentucky.
Yeah, he was bumping against Blanton.
Others scores today. Georgetown easy over the University of Pittsburgh, 93-62. Game some of you have just seen. Oklahoma 3-point winner against North Carolina State, 72-69. Holy Cross over Iona by 4, 81-77.
Comes March, Georgetown gets tough. In like a lamb, come out like a tiger.
Anthony Wilson trying to maneuver away from Harden. Gets a short jumper, misses, rebounds, misses, and is fouled. Winston Bennett. Bennett just couldn't get out of the way. Wrong spot.
Well, what the ball players seem to be doing more this year than the other year, they put their arms up in the air, but they move their body up into the man.
2 shots, man.
At the line is Anthony Wilson, and he has been a fine free throw shooter this year. He's missed only twice of 35. 33 of 35 from the line. Starting at 94.3%. To 5. Kentucky by 4 with 5.5 minutes played.
They're in a combination now. Watch Blanton. He'll stay with Walker wherever Walker goes. See Blanton on Walker?
Stolen by Don Redden. Off to Anthony Wilson for the jumper. LSU is ice cold from the floor. Harden behind the back.
Reject that time by Bennett.
Well, you won't see a better fast break goal than that one by Walker, set up by Harden. Inside to Redden, working the baseline, blocked by Walker. Wilson, another miss for LSU. Bennett with a rebound. 6-point lead, Kentucky.
Now here we have that combination again. It's 4-man, and Blanton is playing Walker man-to-man. No, he left him now.
Blackman over the top to LSU. The Tigers in nearly 7 minutes have only 2 field goals. Watch Harden.
Watch it. He kicks behind his back. Now he goes back over to Harden. Harden floats it up high, and Skywalker.
And the ball never touched the floor. That's the kind of passing that makes a coach smile.
Well, that's all the way back to Rupp, Joe B. Hall, and today, Eddie Sutton.
Richard Madison is in for Kentucky. John Williams and the foul on Bennett.
That's what they got to start doing. The Tigers kicking the ball inside to Williams. They don't seem to have enough patience.
Second foul on Bennett.
That was on Bennett. His second, team third.
Non-shooting foul. Madison wears 42 in white for Kentucky. Shots, haven't been able to drop them. There's Derek Taylor from 20 feet, make it 11-7. He has 4.
Boy, he's not bashful. That was definitely 3-point range. Should be able to get the ball into Walker this time. Set man-to-man.
Richard Madison from Memphis, Tennessee, makes it 13-7 with his first move.
Master blaster.
How'd you like to see that man on the mound? They said he threw a fastball over 90 miles an hour in high school. Great football player, quarterback.
Some people say he picked the wrong sport. He's that good in football.
Blanton is blocked. Out it comes to John Williams. Williams going one-on-one against Bennett.
Oh, boy. That's a Magic Johnson move. Do you know Williams can play point guard, off guard, power forward, small forward, center. He can play them all.
Dale Brown said the only problem is he's too unselfish. He's second on the team in assists. He said, I don't want him to pass it. I want that man to be shooting. 13-9 the score. Just under 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Madison knocked away by Redden.
Ground to
You got 2.
Ed Davender.
Good ball movement that time. Get it into Williams.
There it is. John Williams. Not there. Good offensive rebound by Blanton. Oh, he was fouled. No whistle. Six-point Kentucky lead. Walker. And the foul on John Williams.
That's the 4th team foul on the Tigers.
Kentucky has 5. First on Williams. And a timeout here at Rupp Arena with 11 minutes, 8 seconds left. First half, Kentucky by 6.
Some companies rent you a car, and that's it.
I mean, we've kept them 9 minutes. They got 15 points. But we're unaggressive. They're bumping you guys around. You're not concentrating on your shots at all. I mean, guys, this is a game that can go right to the wire. But y'all are letting them intimidate you. Come shoot that shot. If they foul you, they foul you. Now, we're all out of the defenses.
He's
so
trying
now
to build
it's
up their confidence.
A straight 2-3 zone, okay? Did you report?
Dale Brown, we'll hear more from him at halftime. He is verbally, he could almost go out and politic, don't you think? I mean, he is emotional, he's convincing, he's got some very strong feelings, and he's not afraid to talk about them, and we'll hear some of those at halftime.
The halftime show was done in the late October. It was done before the Sports Illustrated article came out on him. And some of the things he says them in a salty tugboat type of way, but there's a lot of truth in them. So you fans out there, I hope you enjoy. It's a straight conversational halftime, but he says some things worth thinking about.
LSU controlling the boards, but they're not able to get the ball in the hole, so they trail by 6 with 11 minutes left. First half.
Straight 2-3 zone.
Oliver Brown is in for the first time, 31 for LSU. Madison short. Walker there, knocked away by Williams. Last touch by Davender. It hit his foot. Good call by Paul Galvin.
I know Williams has all the ability in the world, but he doesn't seem to show any emotion. He had quick hands there. Watch how he strips the ball there. Very weak shot put up. Now watch him strip the ball right there. All leather.
Meanwhile, LSU line action. John Williams, who made the play defensively, gets his 4th point. It's 15-11.
Round to Davender again.
He'll take it. He's got it. Same shot.
All they got to do is get around to the weak side of that 2-3 zone, and you got a hot hand. He's heating up 2 in a row.
Good defense by Kentucky. Oliver Brown to John Williams. Williams at 6'8".
John Williams slipped down low there. Let's kick the ball into John Williams. 2 years ago, he was the best ball player out of high school.
Derek Taylor knocked away by Winston Bennett. Mark of this first 20-minute period. Kentucky by 6. John Williams not there. Boy, LSU having trouble finding the range.
With that body, I wouldn't let John Williams any more than 3 feet away from the basket.
Davender comes out to John Williams.
He'll do his thing now, Dick.
Against Harden. Boy, Harden barely was touched and he fell down.
John Williams is such a nice guy. Watch him pick up Harding at the bumps. He should have passed it there, obviously. It's 2-on-1, but so seldom does a 6'8" guy get a chance to be a guard. Now watch him pick up Harding. Oh, we didn't take it that far.
So John Williams on a 2-1 break. Turns it over on the charge. 9.5 minutes remaining. LSU is fortunate to be this close, considering how they played. Vukamirovic is into the game for the first time. The Yugoslavian. Bennett! Oh, can't make it. Lens loses it to Bennett. Underneath to Walker. Sky Walker has 6.
They need a basket here to keep the crowd out of the game. At Kentucky, the crowd determines the game a lot.
Winston Bennett steals it for Kentucky. Bennett throws up a prayer, and a whistle. It goes against Vukamirovic from Belgrade, Yugoslavia. He's a sophomore, 6'4", wears number 20. His teammate on the Yugoslavian national team, Zoran Jovanovic, the 7-footer, out for the season with knee surgery. That happened during the Christmas break when he was working out with his teammate down in Blanton, down in Miami. He's out for the year with serious knee surgery. Rob Lock, 44 in for Kentucky. Big blonde shot. Bennett, and he's fouled.
That's a two-shot foul. But we're automatically in a 1-1 now anyway.
Wilson's first. 17th foul on LSU. Kentucky still with 5.
Bennett at the line for 2 free throws.
It's not nice to say, but at the present time, LSU's offense is extremely static, stuttering and sloppy. And I think one of the reasons is they had so many turnovers this year. 5 or 6 ball players have either injured or academically dropped off the team.
Bennett, a 78% free throw shooter, misses his first. Out goes Davender, and in comes James Blackman.
This game reminds me a little bit of the St. John's DePaul game, where St. John's allowed DePaul to stay in the game, and all of a sudden they got hot. And Kentucky's allowing LSU to stay in this ball game.
Walker kept it alive. Bennett gets his 2. No. And he fouls. And for Winston Bennett, I believe that's his 3rd. It is.
A foul of frustration. This is 2 foul shots, that gets the rebound and misses a chippy. Got upset with himself and fouled.
He goes out at number 55. Cedric Jenkins, a 6'9" sophomore from Dawson, Georgia, is in for Eddie Sutton. Number 43, Jose Vargas, a 6'9" sophomore from the Dominican Republic, enters the game for LSU. There's Jenkins. Vukamirovic. Oliver Brown.
Last time I'm saying it, get the ball into Wiggins.
To hit that short jumper. 19-11. Kentucky by 8 with 8 minutes left in the first half. 11 points for LSU in 12 minutes. Jenkins. Oliver Brown. Boy. Vukamirovic. And the foul on Blackman. Actually, there were a couple of fouls before that one that they overlooked.
Well, that was out in the open, and it's a 1-1.
Second foul on
Take the ball down. It's 1-1, gang. That's right. If they can make these 2 foul shots, Dick, LSU is only down 6 points. They should be down 24 points the way they play. But you never know. College basketball's that way.
Vukamirovic. He is an accomplished violinist. That's the first time that I've had that note personally on a player. And no strings on that one.
Yep, 1 string broke.
Remains 19-11. Steal by Wilson. And a good play by Vukamirovic. He knocked it off the leg of Harden out of bounds. And it's LSU's ball.
Eddie Sutton's very, very upset.
2 starters, Derek Taylor and Redden, come back in for LSU, but we have a timeout with 7 minutes, 28 seconds remaining in the first half.
I realized when I got in my own business, I had to give it 110% of my time. I got deadlines to meet.
I can't let season. We have some great games for you on NBC tomorrow. North Carolina Duke. Next Saturday, that Southeastern Conference Championship. And a week from Sunday, the ACC Championship. And tomorrow, we're going to see that backcourt that you're so enamored of at Duke.
Well, I think Amaker and Dawkins are the best backcourt combination in the last 10 years. Every time I say it, well, I can't remember someone from the 70s. There probably is someone better there. Hey, one of the things about this game right here today, Dick, you got to give Kentucky credit for their defense. They do stop the other team's offense.
23.8%. That's 5 of 21 for LSU. The Tigers trail by 8 with the ball. 7.5 minutes left in the half. Oh, I thought of another guard combination going back in the years, Coach. From the side, Anthony Wilson hits for LSU. He has 3, and it's a 6-point lead. 7:09 left. Around the zone, finally to Harden. Roger Harden hits, and a foul away from the ball on Jose Vargas of LSU. So not only with a 2 points count, Kentucky will be at the line 1-1.
When you're playing a 2-3 zone, the soft spot where the offense is going to kill you is from the top of the key.
You know, when you talked about the great guards all the time a couple of weeks ago, and you had Walt Hazzard, Gail Goodrich as one of the great guard combinations, and you had
2 guys from Temple.
Guy Rogers
and Lear.
And Hal Lear. I was thinking that was in the 50s. In the 40s, how about here at Kentucky? Ralph Beard and Wawa Jones.
Wawa Jones wasn't the guard. I think he was a forward.
I think he was the guard. Rob Locke has his first point of the game. They're apparent to Kenny Walker's spot inside, the sophomore from California. Now, let's see, they had Groza Beard, Wawa Jones, Kenny Rollins, and Cliff Barker. Rollins. Everything going Kentucky's way.
Score this time, it's a 5-point trip down court.
They've got 3 of them already. 22-13, the biggest lead of the game for Kentucky. Paul Andrews misgauged Ed Davender's move.
You know, surprisingly, it has been a defensive game, and Dale Brown, I got to give him a tip of the hat. He's got these fellas alternating the defense. He's got Kentucky all mixed up. Kentucky's coming down and not analyzing the D. But they still got to get Williams to get going here. John Williams is supposed to be an All-American. Start playing a little bit harder.
Williams averaging over 18 a game, the leading scorer for LSU. Redden inside to score. A tough 2 for Don Redden. He has a total of 4. 6 minutes left in the half.
Kenny Walker is now playing his natural position, a forward. He's on the wing.
Walker, Locke, and Jenkins down low, the front line with Andrews and Davender in the backcourt.
Andrews can sink it if he puts it up. There he goes.
Paul Andrews, not there. Rebound to Redden of LSU. Trailing by 7, the long feed to Williams. Derek Taylor. Ooh, he likes that shot from the point.
Well, he's been at LSU for 5 years. It was second year. I think he had the injury. Only had academic problems. He sat out his second year.
That was his Pac-Man year. Fell in love with a Pac-Man machine and forgot to go to classes. He's a good student.
Anything you put a quarter in, it's going to cost you.
That'll be etched in marble someplace.
Someplace now they charge you half an hour.
Kenny Walker from outside has 8.
He can bottom it out. That's been one of the weaknesses they say on Kenny Walker, but he can do it drill it within 18 feet.
As Mama Ola would say, ring the bell. 4:45 left in the half. Redden working on Walker.
That's up.
Taylor, way off the mark. Right through the hands of 2 Tigers. It goes to Paul Andrews. 24-17. The Cats lead with 4.5 minutes remaining. Walker again. Rebound Williams. Head to Taylor. changed his shot. Wilson from the side, and they don't like it at Kentucky.
Eddie Sutton is very, very upset. From my angle, it looked like he was hit from behind, but I had a tough angle.
24-19 with less than 4 minutes left.
You got to put that shut up, Kenny.
Lock back outside to Davender. Skywalker again.
You can't pass up that shot. Kenny's an absolute first-team All-American, and
some think he'll win one of the Player of the Year awards. And of course, one of those, the Wooden Award, we'll have for you live a week from Sunday.
oh, you got Dawkins in there, you got Steve Alford, you got Walter Berry, you got Bias. There's about 7 or 8 guys in the country that can win that.
Williams can't hit. Vargas with a rebound does not count. Locke with the foul on John Williams.
Don't be upset, Jose. You look good doing that revenge dunk, even though it was after the whistle.
John Williams, highly recruited out of Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles, same school that produced Marcus Johnson, fine All-America at UCLA. 237 pounds, 6 feet 8. He can work the ball, play defense, likes to pass too much. He's so gifted there.
Yeah, he likes an open court game, a transition game. When you have that type of body and that strength, that you pretty much got to get him down in on the blocks and let him put his natural ability with his strength to score and create a foul situation on the Wildcats.
80% free throw shooter. Williams hits both. And somehow LSU, the Tigers, keep clawing away. They're staying close. A 5-point game with 3 minutes left in the half.
We're not a company, but outstanding people come to us every day. People who want to make a contribution to a team and do...
Yeah, we talked about the year of the guard. There's one of the best to ever play the game. Some would put Oscar Robertson and that man from West Virginia in the all-time backcourt. Jerry West here representing the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's see, Hot Rod Hundley and West. That wouldn't have been a bad backcourt.
They didn't play together. I'm kind of jumping on you today, Dick, huh?
Rod Thorne, wasn't he there about that time? That's Sean Sutton. He's a junior in high school. He scored over 30 last night for Clay High School here in the Lexington area. He's quite a player.
I had a short talk with Eddie Sutton, and obviously the people in Kentucky want the young man to come here. I don't know if it's smart for a coach to have his son play for him. My son Ali played for me for 4 years at Marquette. But
did you do it over again the same way? Did Ali play for you?
I do it for myself, but not for Ali. I think Al would have been a pro if he went someplace else. The only school he visited was North Carolina and Dean Smith.
26-21 Kentucky. Less than 3 minutes left in the half. Rob Locke inside. Goaltending on Vargas. 3 points for Locke. Vargas has huge hands. He can actually pick up a ball with his thumb and forefinger. Vargas posting up on Locke. Can't hit the turnaround. Wilson in heavy traffic. And a foul on Walker. His second.
Didn't make any difference that time. Jose Vargas was going to put the ball up. He didn't shoot that. He threw it.
That was on Walker, his second.
To the line goes Anthony Wilson. Carrying 5 points with him. 1 for 2 from the line. He's had a good year.
Key time of the game right now is 7-point spread.
Let's listen to Dale Brown as he watches this free throw.
Shot eight. Pretty well. Haven't had any game out of John.
He's saying what I said, Dick. He hasn't got any game out of John yet, John Williams. So that's why I think LSU, if they get a hot hand and John Williams gets going, they could upset Kentucky.
Anthony Wilson had missed only 2 free throws all year. Misses 2 in the first half today. 28-22 the score. 2:19 left. Oliver Brown to Derek Taylor. Long feed. Anthony Wilson rebounded by Jenkins. be down by only 4 on that last trip.
Well, their shot selection leaves a little bit to be desired.
Only down by 6, and yet they're shooting around 30%. Harden from outside. Davender. Back to Harden.
Got ourselves a new shot clock.
1:35 left, first half. Inside to Rob Locke. Good move.
He walked. Oh, God, he took a walk. He jumped both feet off the ground that time. That was a walk, Eddie. Don't say anything.
Eddie Sutton, coached at Creighton and on to Arkansas, here to Kentucky, and they ask him about his impressions about being here at this basketball crazy state and school. He says, whatever I heard about Kentucky was wrong. It's bigger.
They take their basketball real serious.
He says, I get notes on critiques from 80-year-old grandmothers out in western Kentucky who are avid fans, and they know what they're talking about. Woodside in the game for the first time. Bernard Woodside, a sophomore from Hempstead, New York. Oliver Brown, close in, can't hit. Woodside rebounds, blocked by Locke. Vargas can't hit. Woodside hits.
Woodside doesn't score that much. He usually comes in for John Williams. Coach will keep John Williams maybe out a minute or two, but now he's trying to save the foul situation for the second half. That's why Woodside is in there.
Final seconds of the first half, a 4-point game. 6 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Kentucky has to make a play before the half. Shot clock is at 20, 19, 18.
We'll have to take the shot from the outside. That zone is tightening up.
Dale Brown shouting to his defense. More shot. Walker in the right place. And the foul with 3 seconds left. Derek Taylor. That's a tough break for Taylor and LSU. It's
45 seconds.
free ball.
Ran out. It was never. Hey! Don! Something's wrong with the 45. Something's wrong with it.
He's saying something's wrong with the 45-second clock. After the shot, it retooled.
Time! Paul!
Paul is the small referee out there. Paul Gallo.
Let me
Calvin.
explain to you. Don! It didn't go off. It didn't go off.
I don't think that 45 seconds was consumed.
It didn't make any difference. Only 6 seconds spread. They took the shot in time.
Kenny Walker hits the front end of a 1-and-1 to make it 29-24. His 11 points lead all scores.
Well, the space cadet with these eye goggles. Last year he hurt his eye twice, and this year he did it again. He says the only problem with wearing them is now and then they fog up. So he has 2 or 3 sets of glasses on the bench.
Paul, the shot clock never went off. Explain to you. Now don't give me a Tennessee game now, Paul, because I blackballed you for 2 years. The shot clock.
What he's talking about is a couple of years ago he had a tight game against Tennessee that he thought he should have won. When he says he's blackballed, that means that when you blackball a referee, the commissioner's office will not assign him to your game because of personality.
Wait a minute. The shot clock never went off. Hold on. He shot the ball.
He's right, Dale. You're wrong on this, Dale.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Paul, the shot clock didn't go off. He passed the ball. No, the shot clock, we had the ball. The horn didn't work.
No, I don't think you're right, Coach. I think that they shot the ball before the 45 seconds because we said it was about 5.5, 6 seconds between the two.
I'm saying the same thing. Then the scramble of the ball coming out where Taylor fouled Walker near half court here.
Well, they got some of the hearts racing a bit here at Rupp Arena. 3 seconds remain in the half, and this is the back end of the 1-and-1 for Kenny Walker as he looks for a dozen in the first half.
Long pass to
just about Taylor from midcourt. And that is the end of the LSU Tigers 24. Despite a very poor shooting first half, Brown's team is in the thick of this one.
Both played good D.
My daughter calls it the Blue Bomber.
You get the feeling sometimes that with those bonuses that go with breaking world records in the pole vault, it's kind of interesting. They break it by a half inch and then another half inch. That maybe they know what they're doing. But another world record in the pole vault. No world records in shooting in the first half. A very cold half for both teams.
Well, Kentucky only shot 33%, and I think that LSU is in the low 40s. But I think the game has been a defensive game. It's been a bump and grind game. It's very tough underneath within 3 or 4 feet of the rim. I thought early in the game Kentucky could have blown them out. Now they've given LSU life, and I think Dale Brown is pumping real hard right now in that locker room.
All right. Kentucky already has clinched the SEC championship. One of their reasons, along with winning in front of the home fans today, for a victory is the fact that if they go 17-1, it'll only be the third time since the double round robin in this conference that a team has accomplished that. A Kentucky team and an LSU team were the other two. The score is 30-24, a 6-point difference. We're at halftime. Back after these words from your local station.
Eddie Murphy's The Calm in Lexington. College basketball is brought to you by Michelob Light, super premium taste in a less filling beer. Who says you can't have it all? By Isuzu Quality Cars and Trucks. Isuzu, the first car builders of Japan. By American Airlines, something special in the air. And by Midas, for mufflers, brakes, and shocks, trust the Midas touch.
Who says you can't have 100% imported hops?
All the excitement of college basketball.
Ready for the second half here at Rupp Arena. A 6-point Kentucky lead. Let's look at the official statistics in the first 20 minutes of play. And it will note and underline the fact that LSU did not shoot that well. Well, that is not correct. LSU shot 30%.
Well, they're talking about free throws.
We don't have the field goal percentages up there, but they shot 30% and Kentucky shot 44%. They're the free throws and rebounds. Nothing other significant there than the block shot, 6-1. 6 points each for Taylor, Williams, and Wilson. No one in foul trouble for LSU. Kenny Walker, as expected, led Kentucky with 12. Harden and Davender chipped in with a couple of outside jumpers.
Only guy in foul trouble with 3 is Winston Bennett.
See anything different from, I think, Eddie Sutton? He figures he's got the better team, a deeper bench, playing at home, already with the SEC title tucked away. He can play his game. It's up to LSU to force something different. Do you see Dale Brown changing his strategy at all?
I don't see Dale changing much of his strategy. I think he got away with murder by putting multiple defenses out there and Kentucky not analyzing the defenses, and that's one of the reasons why they're poor percentage shooting. On the other end, I think LSU has to be a little bit more clever or patient with their shot selection. You can almost tell before a guy touches the ball that he's going to shoot it up. I mean, you got to get Williams into his whirl-away gear, into his overdrive, into his fast lane action.
He's talking with Williams now. Let's eavesdrop.
That means you should be able to swing the ball and be open. So whatever action there is, there's a reaction to it. There's got to be.
Tell him, Dale, just go down low and you'll get him the ball.
John's going to see if he can go, and if he can't, we're going to go with Jose in the middle. Think you can go? You look like an old timer. I was just telling John.
Well, he's talking about Dale. Don Redden took a knee in the hip, and he's hurting, apparently.
Yeah, I thought he was hurt at the top of the game, Dick. I mentioned it 2 or 3 times. He's not playing at 100%. I didn't know what the injury was. But he just asked Don, do you want to give it another try? Oh, man.
Our ball, let's call a Bennett has 3 fouls. Bennett has 3. Who's got Bennett? All right, let's call it 2. Whoever Bennett's guarding, call it 2. He's got 3 fouls. Rebound now.
That means get the ball into whoever Bennett's guarding and try to pick up the 4th foul on Bennett to force him onto the Pine, or which we call Pine City.
Get him to the bench. Same team except for Bird that started for Kentucky. Walker, Bennett on the front line with Davender, Harden, and Blackman in the backcourt. Blanton, Williams, Redden will start the second half along with Derek Taylor and Anthony Wilson. Biggest lead for Kentucky was 9 in the first half. LSU has never led. It's 6 points Kentucky as we start the second half. Redden with a move inside. That's up Wilson. He loves that baseline jumper. That's 3 of them that he's hit.
Well, on the weak side, Kentucky plays you hard man-to-man. They drift off the weak side, and Wilson was free. And Tigers come out with their 2-3 zone.
Winston Bennett right back for Kentucky. Bennett with 4.
Davender here is trying to shut down Taylor. Taylor's an excellent offensive ball player.
Williams can't handle the pass. Bennett intercepts.
Kentucky has a 3-guard offense.
Boy, Bennett comes out firing. Hits 2 in a row. 8-point lead Kentucky with a minute gone in the second half.
Coach Sutton wants to turn on the D, try to create some TOs.
No hands.
Blanton has it knocked away by Skywalker. Harden, a nice pass and a beautiful steal by Derek Taylor. Anthony Wilson from the side. He's 4 for 4 on that baseline. 10 points for Wilson to lead the Tigers.
We're looking at a 10-point spread. That steal by Taylor made it 6.
Blackman, he's got 6 in the second half. After only 2 in the first 20 minutes.
Watch how tight the Wildcats play on the Tigers here. Real tight, trying to create the turnovers. They slough off the weak side. Blackman sloughing off his man into the middle.
John Williams, Big John, knocked away by Blackman, controlled by Harden. Walker to Blackman. Biggest lead of the game for Kentucky, 10 points.
Timeout. Timeout, gang. Come on.
And the fans here at Rupp Arena, the partisan Kentuckians love it. 2.5 minutes into the second half. Kentucky by 10.
We're not a company.
But no company has more pride in what they do.
Or more.
Harden keeps his balance here. What every man should do, always get the ball into the middle of the fast break. Walker gets it, kicks it over to Blackman. Curtains.
And a 10-point lead for Kentucky. After a slow first half, no one has missed in the second half.
The key of the breakaway so far has been the guards and the tenacious defense.
Taylor over Davender, banks it home. Tough. 8 points for Taylor. 38-30 Kentucky. Plenty of time, 17 minutes plus remaining.
Redden is definitely playing hurt.
And he goes down again. Winston Bennett, 8 points in the second half. And a turnover against Anthony Wilson. John Redden goes out. He's got that right thigh heavily bandaged after taking a knee in the thigh. You see Maryland beating Virginia today impressively. Notre Dame rallied against Marquette. Marquette had a big early lead. Villanova winner against BC in the Big East.
I was surprised Redden was playing because these teams can be beaten again in 3 days from now in the SEC tournament, which is right here. Redden was definitely hurt, played with guts.
Michigan, as you saw, won easily today. Skywalker speaking easily, and he is fouled. The sky is falling, said Chicken Little.
Up goes the All-American. Getting near crush time here.
Foul was on Brown, his first. Walker, who had 32 points in the Tennessee win. Kentucky doesn't win very often down at Tennessee. In fact, only the second time since 1970 they won at Stokely, and this man had 32 Thursday night.
The last time they won the NCAA championship in St. Louis against Duke, who we'll have tomorrow. What a big game.
Duke in North Carolina. Foul is against John Williams for charging. Stare at Paul Galvin, who made the call.
It was a good call.
Kentucky and the Birds are really blowing this one wide open. And Williams now has 4 fouls again away from the ball. He's not had a good game.
Now he's playing with indecision. He's trying to do too much. And matter of fact, I don't know if I just leave him in and let him play it out.
Now 43-30 the score. Williams picking up a couple of quick fouls here in the second half with 16 minutes left in the game. Harden. A different Kentucky team the second half. 6 for Harden, a 15-point bulge.
Their defense has been more aggressive.
Blanton gets the hoop for LSU. That's his first points of the game.
And they stopped the run. Settle back in a nice tight 2-3 zone. So look for these 3 guards that pop from the outside. Probably Davin this time.
Travel by Harden. He got going before he put the ball on the floor. In the second half, Al, LSU has shot 4 times. How many do you think you made? Don't look.
2.
4. You can look now. How about Kentucky? Look up. They had 7. How many do you think they made?
8.
From the side, Anthony Wilson. He's a cousin of Willie McGee, not a bad hitter himself with the St. Louis Cardinals, and Wilson has really been hitting from the side. 12 for him. Point lead Kentucky. 5 minutes gone, second half. Into Kenny Walker. Rebound goes to 31. Oliver Brown, and here comes LSU. Vargas. Anthony Wilson is hot. A little out of his range.
He's not that hot.
Vargas saves out to Taylor.
That was from the washroom.
Vargas throws it right in the hands of Kenny Walker. That was a chance for LSU to get down to single digits. They're down by 11 at the moment.
Back around to Horn.
Off the knee of Walker, stolen by Taylor. High lob, Blanton for 2.
I got to give Blanton credit. He stays right in the ball game. He's a hard-nosed player.
9-point Kentucky lead. That's a 6-point run for LSU after the Wildcats had clicked off 7 in a row.
Had them on the ropes.
Oh, Walker left alone against Vargas. Oh, he misses the shot. Wilson came down with a rebound. Fans wanted a foul. Taylor, double team. Ooh, just did get it out. Vargas. And it's 8 in a row now for LSU. 45-38.
Eddie, I wouldn't sit too long without a timeout, Eddie Sutton. They come back 8 points.
They were down by 15 at 45-30.
The nice clean shot from the outside. They're trying to force it in.
It's Harden. Rebound Wilson. 10 straight points. And traveling is the call against Oliver Brown.
Number 44, Rupp.
Both sides look a little tired at this point. They played Thursday night, did Kentucky. Out goes Sky Walker. And Rob Locke, sophomore, 6'10", from Reedley, California. Number 44 is in. Harden penetrating. 12.5 minutes left. Dennis can't hit. Vargas with a rebound. Suddenly Kentucky ice cold. Wilson, that's his spot. Oh, he just doesn't miss from there. 45-40. 10 straight for LSU. Still no timeout by Eddie Sutton. This is with John Williams on the bench, the star for LSU. They made a great comeback. And a foul. Oliver Brown reaching in.
That'll be a 2-shot foul. Should stop their drought.
Foul is on Brown. His second, team fourth.
12 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the second half. Don't forget tomorrow now. North Carolina and Duke. Their campuses only about 8 miles apart. A great rivalry. Two of the top 3-4 teams in the nation. Carolina on the top spot most of the year. Now Duke owns that #1 position.
Probably the most active student body in college basketball.
You don't really think they're a zoo, though. You said that on the air last week.
Without a doubt. I think tomorrow I will feed the animals.
Oh, come on. Don't tease them. Rob Locke gets 1 of 2, and we have a timeout. This is a commercial timeout, not a Kentucky timeout, with 12 minutes left. A 6-point game.
I'm on my way to Hawaii and the Women's Kemper Open. So am I, and I'll be coming back the winner. We'll see about that, because I'm the defending champion.
But now there's a whole new course, a whole new island, and a whole new year.
Yeah, it's my year, and it's my $45,000 first prize.
Those kids got no chance.
Catch all the action at the Women's Kemper Open.
Live from Princeville Golf Course.
On Kauai, in Hawaii. See it on NBC, March 8th and 9th.
All the right parts in all the right places. Napa's putting smiles on.
Visited with one of the officials, and we were eavesdropping on Charles Watkins and Coach Brown of LSU.
You know, they've played 8 minutes. They're playing man-to-man. We're playing zone. Charles, they don't have a foul. You've gotten John Williams, you guys, out of the game on 2 just chicken, you know, really bad calls. I mean, Kenny Walker hacks and pushes. They're playing man-to-man, Charles, and they don't have a foul. How would you like to sit over here coaching with that?
Doing the best I can. What would you say if you were an official?
If I was the official, I'd say to Dale at that time, I call them, I don't count them.
You probably heard that line. That was nice technique. That gives you a feeling of how a coach can work an official. Some yell and rant and rave. He was trying to use logic.
Now, Charles, it's about time that you called some our way, because Kenny Walker's getting away with murder, and my guys are tiptoeing through the tulips.
It's a 6-point game. Of course, Brown, in the meantime, has seen his team rally from 15 down to trail by only 6 here in the camp of the Wildcats, and we have plenty of time, 12 minutes left.
Coach Brown is refreshing.
Whoops, Vargas has trouble with a handle. Throws it out where Davender makes the steal. Davender at the other end.
Nice trap defense set up that time in the corner.
Derek Taylor way outside.
Derek, you're good.
10 points for Derek Taylor. He and Anthony Wilson in the backcourt, both in double figures for the Tigers. 48-42, Kentucky. Kenny Walker still on the bench for the Wildcats. Rob Locke jamming his way inside. Will they count the basket? No. Yes, they will. And there's no foul. Dale Brown says still no fouls against Kentucky.
Charles, come over here. I want to talk to you a second, Charles.
He's barking at somebody. It's his own player, Jose Vargas.
Good play. Good no call, in my opinion. Vargas wanted a charge foul. If he did, the basket would have counted anyway.
8-point lead for the Cats of Kentucky. Watch Davender 15 work on Taylor. He just constantly defensively applying the pressure, trying to deny the ball, deny the pass. Vargas double team. Harden with a good play to deflect. Wilson blocked by Locke. The numbers aren't right, so the senior Harden backs it back out of there. Into Locke. He made the defensive play at the other end. Got away with a walk. 7 points for Rob Locke. He's going toward his all-time high. Only 12 is his best ever. Wilson hits again. Anthony Wilson from plain dealing, Louisiana. Just that plain dealing, he's firing up there. Clock ticking down toward the 10-minute mark, halfway through the second half. Davender won't drop. Blanton with a good rebound. 8-point deficit staring at LSU.
Wilson's free again.
Bingo! Anthony Wilson shooting out the lights at Rupp Arena. He has 18. That's only 4 under his career high with LSU.
LSU is just hanging in there. If they get a run at the right time, they'll cause a lot of trouble.
Davender has it stolen away. Derek Taylor with a steal. 1 against 2. He pulls up. Wilson again. He's everywhere. Anthony Wilson with 20 points. And it's 52-48 Kentucky.
Got the right bounce. The ball hung in the rim for a second longer. Ended up touching Wilson. If it touches Wilson, it's automatically 2.
Once down by 15, LSU is drawn to 4.
Got to take that shot from the top of the key, Harden. There it is. Got to take it.
Roger Harden, 54-48. You ought to go back in coaching. You know that?
I wouldn't go back in coaching if you gave me Fort Knox.
Taylor, not there, but Rob Locke has it stolen, and Blanton misses. Blanton back up and hits.
Unbelievable. He stayed in there playing just a dance hall type player, pushing and shoving. Excellent.
54-50 Kentucky with 8:15 left. John Williams, the 18-point score for LSU on the bench. Blackman from the side. James Blackman was 7.
Taylor wants to go one-on-one, but you got a tough guy there.
Anthony Wilson. Taylor left alone. Inside to Vargas. Travel. He had the shot. Had he taken and gone up with it, he had a nice little bank shot, but he faked himself off his feet.
Yeah, he did 1 or 2 of those little mambo fakes, but I think he was looking for Locks. Didn't know where he was, and he did drag his foot.
7 minutes and 48 seconds remaining here at Rupp Arena. University of Kentucky leads LSU by 6.
If you've ever dreamed the dream...
Dale Brown giving final instructions to his LSU Tigers during that timeout. As we listened to him, he was really giving, he said, hey, you fellas really have come back. Stay with it. Maybe this will come down to 1. I'm really proud of you, the way you've rallied.
Yeah, we're right in there. We're down 14 points, only down 6 now.
Run your up, stick with the plan. The crowd's getting a little frustrated. We haven't gotten a hell of a lot of breaks. We're making our own. No cheap baskets now.
He also talked with another official, and now he's talking to the third official about no fouls.
Well, he's done the hat trick.
Well, Bennett's illegal screens. Did you report?
How many things on a coach's mind. First, he tells the guy that Ben has illegal screens down there. Did you report it as a sub?
Eddie Sutton, meanwhile, on the Kentucky bench, his team is led from the opening bell. Had once a 15-point lead. Closest that LSU could come here in the second half to 4. Currently, it's 56-50 Kentucky. 7 minutes, 45 seconds remain.
He said to keep a hand in Harden's face. Now, they won't do that. They'll probably forget. Harden will hit from the top.
Kenny Walker is back in for Kentucky after being rested for about 5 minutes. Rob Locke stays in, so that's about as big a front line as Eddie Sutton can put on the floor.
Got to take it from there, son.
Blackman from the side. John Williams couldn't stop him. James Blackman, he has 9.
That's some shot to hit with John Williams coming at you.
Williams playing with 4 fouls. Kentucky, and we played nearly 13 minutes, has not committed a foul. Oliver Brown traveling, no basket.
Charles. Excellent pass here.
I didn't see the walk there. The left foot was solid all the way through the sequence. So instead of getting the fouls, Dale Brown is getting nothing.
Well, these are professional officials. They get signed to a game like this means they're good.
Bennett. And it's back on top by 10 for the Wildcats. It's 60-50.
These 3 fellas cannot be intimidated. If we watch Coach Brown now, see which official he tries to get to. No, he's not bothering him. He'll come back out again.
6 minutes and 44 seconds remain. Kentucky leads by 10.
Yesterday, buying an IBM XT was a good...
By 10, 60-50. I saw you having breakfast this morning with Joe B. Hall. You know, Eddie Sutton is only the 3rd coach here at Kentucky in 55 years. Joe B. Hall stepping down.
He's a perfect gentleman. What he's done here, he has praised Eddie Sutton. There was not the same type of thing I think that happened when Rupp was replaced. I think Rupp was a little bitter. So I think it made for a nice atmosphere in Lexington. And Eddie Sutton getting out of the gate so fast, so everybody's on the honeymoon here.
Eddie Sutton with a sensational first year here at Kentucky. As we said, the best ever by a first-year coach in the Southeastern Conference. Sutton's team 25-3. The only losses were one you saw here in NBC to North Carolina State, to Kansas and Auburn. I asked him yesterday, what's the best team you played this year? And he said, no question. Kansas Jayhawks. He said the Boston Celtics couldn't have beat them in the night we played them in Lawrence.
Some people asked me, could Eddie Sutton be Coach of the Year? And I said, I believe a Coach of the Year has to be at the school the year before. He has to be rated off his own team. Guys this year, I think of Dick Versace from Bradley, Louis from St. John's, Bobby from Indiana, Coach K from Duke.
That's twice the ball has hit an official and stayed in bounds for Kentucky. And Dale Brown, he can't blame him. He's just furious, but that's just bad luck. Twice the ball was going out of bounds.
2.
And it hit an official and went to Kentucky. That's just tough luck. Blackman, that's nothing luck about that. James Blackman has 11.
6 minutes left in the game. Talk about skywalking. Eddie gets some skywalk on his own that time.
Eddie Davender. And the fans give Davender a big cheer for his hustle. Went right over Suds Bailey, took the foam right off the top of his head.
Need a basket, a must at this time.
Less than 6 minutes left. There's Williams again, looking for the pass, not the shot. And Kenny Walker gets the foul. That's the first foul in Kentucky in the second half. Comes with 5 minutes, 41 seconds remaining.
And there's only 4 fouls on LSU.
That's right. It's been consistent in that regard. They've just let him play.
She's had a hell of a game, Charles. 1 foul, 5 minutes to play.
I think we should shut down his mic now. I personally feel that a coach gets heated at the end of the game, so I think it'd only be fair for NBC to cut down that mic.
John Williams can't hit. And there's another foul.
They are my brothers, Dick.
Joe B. Yeah, it's just so tough to follow a legend. We saw that at UCLA. Gene Bartow, a great coach, and could not find happiness there. And Joe B., even though he lasted 15 years, they were tough years. They were tumultuous, and he had an image of being so tough. But there's the Joe B. Hall that most of us know. He's a wonderful gentleman.
He's in the banking business right now. He likes to hunt and fish. We had breakfast this morning. He also won the NIT, but he had that great, I think it was 1978 when he won the national championship.
78 indeed in St. Louis, Missouri.
With those Clydesdale, Phillips and Roby and company.
Anthony Wilson looking for a career-high tie. And he misses, and he had only missed 2 all year. Misses 3 free throws today. 62-51, Kentucky. 5:20 left.
A little bit more aggressive zone here. 1-2-2 trap. That's what they're trying to do, create more play. They have to come out a little bit more. Eddie Sutton will start milking the clock. Here he goes, pushing his men more to the corners. It's up to the losing team to create play, not the winning team. He's hot from there.
Rebounds, foul on Derry Taylor. 3rd on Taylor.
5th on LSU. Arrow favors Kentucky.
How many teams do you think will go into the NCAA tournament out of this conference, Southeastern Conference?
I think this year the Southeastern Conference is soft. It would have been heavy if LSU didn't lose those 5 or 6 ball players. I'd say 4 teams will go in.
Think LSU will be one of them?
It'll be close. I think they got to buy the first round of the tournament this week.
They have won 21 games, LSU. Remember, they were off to a 14-0 start, the best in the school's history. Then they had the loss of Nikita Wilson and Jovanovic. Go with others that they'd lost earlier in the year.
Don't forget, last year, Dick Reynolds was only a junior, declared hardship, is playing with the Milwaukee Bucks now in my hometown.
Well, they could have been awesome with all those players.
And if I hope they do something for that young man.
Knocked out of bounds, Oliver Brown. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Kentucky by 11.
Now they go to man-to-man, obviously, create play.
And then a foul on Oliver Brown for holding away from the ball. So the shot clock down to 7 matters not. That is the 6th team foul, 3rd on Brown.
Retool the shot clock.
That's almost better than a foul shot for Kentucky at this stage. They get another 45 seconds with 4 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in the game. This time the foul is on Walker of Kentucky for holding.
Kenny, you're my man, but that was a good call. You're over-aggressive that time.
Walker with 15 points in the game to lead Kentucky. 21 for Anthony Wilson of LSU. That's not a smile of happiness from Eddie Sutton. Control, and it goes to Kentucky. Good defense by the Wildcats.
Uh-oh, Charles, come over here.
We have turned off the microphone to Dale Brown. I think that's good advice, Coach McGuire.
Well, we get kind of, at the end of the game, we get excited. All coaches do, and sometimes we lack vocabulary. Not that Dale does, but I just wouldn't want him to slip.
That's the shot clock down in the right-hand corner. 3 minutes, 37 seconds remaining in the game. Lots of pushing and shoving inside between Walker and Brown. Well, they're really going at it.
Well, Walker has been facing physical defenses all year long.
Oh, that was charging. Yes, it was. That's a good call. Winston Bennett jumped into his man with 3:13 left. So Walker and Bennett with 4 apiece for Kentucky and 4 for John Williams of LSU.
Someone has to get real hot for the Tigers now to make this a game.
Here's a man, Williams, with the ball. He's averaging 18 a game, and he's really been quiet today. He has only 6 points. In fact, Williams has been on a streak of double figures that's now in jeopardy. 28 straight games in double figures. Anthony Wilson with a foul, and that'll send Kentucky into 1-1.
His second, team second.
And Davender, the youngest of the starters for Kentucky, he's only a sophomore. Looking for his 7th point. Just half his average.
I asked him how did he adjust to Lexington from Brooklyn. He said there's not as many things to do.
Rebound John Williams. And timeout LSU. 2 minutes and 43 seconds remain here in Lexington, Kentucky, where the Wildcats are trying to go 17-1 in the conference.
I don't know. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I'd go to college.
Me too.
If I had the money.
Yeah.
Lexington, we go down to Coral Springs, Florida for the Honda Classic. Defending champion is Curtis Strange. Big names in the field, Jack Nicklaus and Raymond Floyd. And after the first 2 rounds, Kenny Knox with a shot lead over Andy Bean and Tom Weiskopf. Good to see him up among the leaders. So stay tuned for the 3rd round of the Honda Classic. It's the best round of golf that you've ever shot, Coach.
I tell you what, I gave up golf about 8 years ago, and this is close to a true story. I was on the putting green in a mountain course, and I putted off the green and lost my ball.
On a putt?
On a putt. You talk about believe it or not, Ripley. And I said, that's the end, because I always kept my putts good and low.
I quit 15 years ago when I had to get the groundskeeper to get my club out of a tree.
Oh, you talk about an equalizer. You talk about humiliating sport.
62-51, LSU trailing Kentucky, 2:40 left. LSU had to shoot in a hurry, and they got to hit some of it.
They got to create some turnovers up court. They need a basket to put the pressure on up court.
Anthony Wilson tipped in. Blanton, he's done a good job. Ricky Blanton.
Put the pressure up court. Here's where you got to get the turnover. You want to get into this ball game. There's time left, but you got to turn them over. You got to be more aggressive, LSU.
Taylor.
They'll milk it.
LSU playing zone most of the game, now forced to play man-to-man, and of course they'll look for Kenny Walker now.
Get the ball to Blackman with Williams on. Williams has 4 fouls. Let Blackman pull it out for 10 to 15 seconds.
20 seconds on the shot clock, as you can see. Less than 2 minutes left in the game.
Bring it back out, Blackman. That's right. Williams won't foul you. Small clock is down to 12.
Inside to Kenny Walker. 17 for Sky Walker. Derek Taylor from the top of the key. Taylor with 12.
Can't wait till tomorrow, Dick. Duke, North Carolina. What a game.
Tar Heels and the Blue Devils. That's a good game even if they're playing 500 ball. Just the rivalry in Cameron Indoor Stadium. Carolina trying to hold on to a long-standing mark of finishing first or second 19 straight years. A loss, and they could drop to 3rd in the conference.
Georgia Tech could be number 2.
You think the folks out in Kansas will be rooting for Carolina should they beat Duke? Jayhawks would finish the regular season number 1.
Larry Brown. I hear Larry Brown's going to be with us tomorrow.
Where did you hear that? Boy, you're coming up with all kinds of information. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. Our coordinating producer of basketball, George Finkel. The telecast of today's game produced by Peter Rolfe, directed by Richard Klein, technical director Neil Flagg. Thanks to Slingshot and Suds for their statistical work. Down to the final minute. And with a minute left, a nice touch by Eddie Sutton. He puts the senior Leroy Bird back in.
Baby magic. Watch him hustle. He's up in the front of the zone. Next to see the size of him? They say 5. He says 5'5". As you said earlier, Dick, closer to 5'2".
Dale Brown calls timeout with 54 seconds left and a 9-point deficit.
Look for Baby Magic to score. If he scores, the house will go rocking.
Let's look ahead while we have a moment, however, since it appears that this game is already in the bank for Kentucky. Duke and North Carolina. Kenny Smith and Steve Hale. We don't know as yet whether Steve Hale will play. We understand we're about to welcome the audience from the West Coast. We'll finish our thought in just a moment. We'd like to welcome those of you who have watched the action from Pauley Pavilion in Los Angeles, DePaul and UCLA. The score here at Rupp Arena, 23,000 watching, as Kentucky trying to go 17-1 in the conference. They've already clinched the SEC title, leading LSU by 9. It's been a game effort by the 100-man Tigers. They were down by 15 in the second half, and Dale Brown's team pulled within 4, but just too much firepower at the other end in the hands of Eddie Sutton.
Well, Kenny Walker is a true All-American. I don't think there'll be a team put out this year that doesn't have him in it. He doesn't have the stats that he had last year, but he does play both ends of the court, and they are one of the big surprises.
There's the score. Those of you who did not watch the game, UCLA with a 2-point win against DePaul. That's a big win for Walt Hazzard and for Joey Meyer. Boy, just we all know it's tough to follow a legend, but when the legend is your own father, we saw it in his eyes. If any man has earned every penny of his salary this year, it's young Joey Meyer at DePaul. It'll get easier, don't you think?
Well, I hope it gets easier. A lot of times with young coaches, when they lose a game or two earlier in the season, they get themselves mentally and physically, too, down. And they sometimes forget that their ball players need hugging, that the ball players are only 18, 19 years of age. So you must shield that from the ball players.
Inside to Blanton. No basket. Foul is on Winston Bennett.
I'm going to root for the next 45 seconds for my man to get the ball and score a basket.
0-0, Leroy Bird.
Leroy Bird.
Bennett leaves with 12 points, 10 of those in the second half. He'll be back next year as a senior and one of the leaders of the Kentucky team.
There it is. You know, it's an old saying, you measure a guy from his neck up. And this is an excellent young man.
We have to use the close-up camera on him, though, to get him at 5'3". Woodside in for LSU. John Williams has his 8th point of the game, but that's one of the reasons why Kentucky will win. Williams had a very quiet afternoon.
Give the ball to the little guy. Come on, Blackman.
Anthony Wilson with the foul. His 3rd. He's had a big game, 21 points for Wilson. Kenny Walker goes out, his last home game in the regular season, but he'll play again, of course, in the tournament that'll be held. Oh, how we watched that young man from Roberta, Georgia grow. He made our NBC All-Freshman team. Every year he got better. You could see he had stardom written all over him in his first year.
You know, he wished the other day when I was talking to him, he said, I wish that I would have had a center either my junior or senior year. I didn't appreciate the Twin Towers, Louis and Turpin, when they were here. I like playing with them, but I would have liked to have 1 year with a center.
Now a goodbye for Roger Harden. He goes out.
Roger, the surprise player, one of the surprise players in college basketball. He did a 360. Or was a 180, a better word.
Harden said in his first moment in Kentucky he cried, but for a different reason. He played in a scrimmage game, and he said he was eaten alive by Minifield and those great fast guards. He said, maybe I'm overmatched. He said, it took me 2 years to find my confidence. Eddie Sutton has been a real key for him this year. He said he really has helped me out. Sutton's always been a friend of the guards, and he's been solid. He's won 2 games at the buzzer for Kentucky.
Well, if he helped out someone, he helped out this guy taking foul shots right now.
Davender gets 2 more, 66-57. 25 seconds left. Woodside throws up a brick.
Go get a shot, son. Come on, keep it yourself all the way. Oh, shoot it.
Taylor deflected it out of bounds.
Come on, give the ball back to him. We got 17 seconds.
I'll tell you what, you do the play-by-play the rest of the way. You got it. Over to you, Al.
Double O, Allie, baby. Oh, there's that. So long. Baby Magic. Tough on Dale Brown every year coming in here the final game with the seniors. Tradition. That's enough for me.
No, you said you only got 15 seconds to go.
Nope, I'm tapping out.
Down to 12, knocked out of bounds by Thomas. We saw him practice yesterday, that freshman from Miami, number 30, Irving Thomas. He can play some defense. He was giving Skywalker some problems. Derek Taylor goes out for LSU. Edwin Wilson in for him.
Taylor had a big offensive game. How many points, Dick?
12 for Taylor. And his partner in the backcourt, Anthony Wilson, with 21. Wilson from downtown.